one point, I also do remember they asked me if I wanted to see Danny. And I looked in the room, and I saw him laying there, but I couldn't go near him. I thought if I went near him, I would lose my mind. I thought my mind would snap.
That's Maureen Faulkner, who's featured in a new documentary out making the case against Mumia Abu-Jamal, who's been on death row for close to 30 years for the murder of her husband, a Philadelphia police officer. Yet there are millions of people around the world who think the wrong man faces execution. What do you think? Tell us right now on It's Your Call. Their names are forever linked. Philadelphia police officer Daniel Faulkner, gunned down on a cold December morning in 1981, and Mumia Abu-Jamal, the man convicted and sentenced to die for that murder. Yet nearly 30 years later, Abu-Jamal remains alive and well, albeit on death row, hopeful that he'll get his sentence reviewed. And the debate over whether he's the real murderer rages on, not just in Philadelphia, but worldwide. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lynn Doyle. Our topic today, as the Faulkner family acknowledges the loss of their loved one some 29 years ago, is the case against the man convicted of murdering him. Mumia Abu-Jamal was arrested the night of the murder, convicted the next year, and has lost all of the numerous appeals filed on his behalf over the last 3 decades. Yet he has still not been executed, and some wonder whether he ever will be. Now, in a new documentary that details the case against him, filmmaker Tigray Hill showcases the evidence that put Mumia on death row. He joins us this hour, along with Michael Cord, who's an attorney and a legal activist. He's also the local counsel for Mumia Abu-Jamal. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate it. I want to start with Tigray, who is the producer and director of the documentary called The Barrel of a Gun. How was it that you found yourself involved in the Mumia Abu-Jamal case?
Well, I'd seen some previous films and read some books about the case that I didn't feel really told the story the right way. And so I wanted to look into the story and look into Mumia's background and put it in a certain context on how this killing could have or might have and did happen.
Were you always convinced that he was guilty of this murder, or did the evidence that you found while filming the documentary convince you of his guilt?
Well, based on what I had known of the case, I thought he looked like he was guilty, but I wanted to look into that. I thought at first maybe there was a question with the trial, but when I started doing the research and looked into the trial and looked into the actual killing, there was no doubt in my mind that he killed Daniel Faulkner and got a fair trial.
What was the message that you were trying to send out with the barrel of a gun?
Well, the barrel of a gun really focuses on the context, from what he, how he grew up, who his idols were, the people he followed, and to try to put the whole murder into a context that he came out of a very revolutionary time when there was cop killings going on, and cop killings in the name of the state, in the name of starting a socialist or communist country in order to liberate themselves from the United States.
Hence the name of the documentary,
Right.
The Barrel of a Gun. It actually comes from a philosophy that people could be empowered by using violence?
Correct. Mao Zedong, who started a revolution in China from the peasantry, made that statement: political power goes out of the barrel of a gun. And he was able to gather the peasantry in China and take over China and make it a communist country. And he was very influential to the Black Panthers as well as to Mumia Abu-Jamal.
What surprised you in putting this documentary together, if anything, about Mumia Abu-Jamal?
I guess how clear-cut the evidence was. We're not talking about a murder where the person got away from the scene and you have to look at it as a whodunit. There was so much evidence. There was eyewitness testimony, ballistics testimony, and the fact that he disrupted his own trial. I was surprised at how much evidence there was against him for a case that's had so much uproar throughout the world.
That raises the question, if there is so much evidence, why is it nearly 30 years later and he has not yet been executed, and he does enjoy worldwide international support?
I just think part of it's the death penalty. Another part of it is that he is a very good marketing tool. He's an articulate person that can write and he knows how to get his message across. And I think that's a big reason as well.
All right, we are talking about the case against Mumia Abu-Jamal. He is a name that is associated with the death penalty, as I said, not just in our country, but all around the world, and in fact has international support. If you'd like to tell us what you think about this case, you can email me directly at lynn@lynndoyle.net. Michael Cord has also been not only the local legal counsel, but a longtime advocate for people who were unlawfully convicted.
Sure.
You believe that he is one of these individuals who has been convicted wrongfully?
No doubt about it. Mumia Abu-Jamal is not only legally not guilty, but in addition, factually innocent. I saw Ty Gray's film. It's a great film and ought to win an Academy Award, but as a work of fiction. Sitting there watching it, it got into emotions, it got into drama, but it stayed away from relevant facts. What Mao Zedong had to do with the shooting that took place on that night, totally irrelevant. But when you throw stuff out like communism, when you throw stuff out like Mao Zedong, all of a sudden everybody thinks that anything connected with that is negative. So the film stayed away from the key issues. For example, when I said factually innocent, Ty Gray's film didn't deal with why there wasn't a paraffin test done on Mumia's hand. If Mumia just shot somebody, he's right there, you check the hand with the swab to see if he fired a gun. Why wasn't that done? Ty Gray's film didn't deal with the issue of, and this is, I think, a critically important point, the issue of why the gun that Mumia had and the bullet in Faulkner didn't match. In addition, and the final point I want to make about Mumia's factual innocence, Ty Gray's film didn't deal with why the police officers who claimed that Mumia confessed didn't give this statement until 64 days later. So the facts Ty Gray stayed away from. That's why it's a great film of fiction.
We're going to talk about each of those points in our next segment, and I will invite our viewers to be part of this and tell us what they think as well. Until then, though, if all of what you're saying is true, why then, somewhere in the last 3 decades, through numerous appeals, and you're an expert with the legal system, why hasn't someone along the way seen the error of the ways or seen those factual inaccuracies, as you point out, and given him either a new trial or a new sentence?
It's a couple things. One, the problem with appeals is that appeals deal with the law as opposed to the fact. On the appellate level, they don't relitigate who saw what. So that's the first thing. You don't have a second trial, you have one. The second thing is that there have been appellate courts that have ruled in Mumia's behalf. In fact, Judge Yan in the 90s ruled that the penalty phase was illegal. And then the Third Circuit Court of Appeals said that there was a violation of Mills. So there have been appellate courts that have ruled in Mumia's behalf.
All right, on that note, we are going to take a short break, but when we come back, a debate between these two men on a case that has fascinated and intrigued the world for the last 30 years. If you'd like to tell us what you think, you can email me at lynn@lynndoyle.net. Please stay with us.